Hey everyone, welcome back to Anvil of Doom Miniatures. My name is Deets and I hope you've all been well. Now this week I've been painting up a few different miniatures, and by different I mean non-GW sculpted minis, which is actually a first for this channel. We all know how much I appreciate those older 90s miniatures with their nostalgic sculpts, so when I find something that gives me those same vibes with a bit of a new twist, it gets me fairly excited. A good hobby mate of mine, Marcelo, or Wallace or Walsh over on Instagram, sent me these beautiful hand sculpted miniatures all the way from Italy, and they are known as the MOONBLINS. Now when I first saw these minis up on Instagram and over on Kickstarter, I knew I had to get my hands on them to paint them up for you guys. They really capture that Oldhammer aesthetic, and as Old and Demon is on the horizon, which is the premier Oldhammer painting competition, I thought I might enter one of these MOONBLINS in the open category. Anyway, that's enough chit chat, let's dive straight into it. Now Marcelo did an amazing job sculpting these little fellas, and I'm guessing they're kind of a take on moon-like goblins, and you can tell by how wacky they look that they would definitely be up to no good. I was sent 4 of these minis. One was a resin sample, but the others were cast in some beautiful metal just the way I like it by Meridian Miniatures. I got 2 sorcerers, one with a wand and one with a book, a crazy moonblin with pistol fingers, and a fish-like familiar that swallowed another poor moonblin. There's been so much creativity that's been poured into these 4 alone, but there are also a bunch of other moonblins that he sculpted, so make sure you check them out after this video. I've slapped some links down in the bio. I have an enormous amount of respect for people who hand sculpt minis. It's definitely an art form that isn't as mainstream due to all of the digital 3D sculpting tools that are available these days, so I've definitely seen it as an important thing to promote and support. You may have seen some of my rookie past sculpting attempt videos, and I can say that sculpting these things at this scale is a real skill and art form. I've been thinking a lot lately about where does the genre of Oldhammer or hand sculpted miniatures go from here. I know by default we usually associate it with the 80s, 90s and even the early 2000s, but it makes me think, will this forever be a nostalgic or distant memory from a past time that captured a more whimsical take on fantasy minis, or is there some way for this aesthetic or style of miniature to fight its way back into the mainstream or have some sort of larger following in this modern day? And I think the answer to this lies with a bunch of talented individuals out there who are still creating and hand sculpting fantasy minis and doing a bloody good job at it as well. Companies and sculptors like Meridian Miniatures, Bequest Miniatures, Nightmare Minis, Knucklebones Minis, and Ramshackle Games, to name a few, have really been setting a great standard for hand sculpting minis. If you look at the sculpts they produce, it's easy to think they've been plucked straight out of the 90s, and I think the more support we give these guys, the better it is for the Oldhammer scene. Yes, the minis are generally more out there, lumpy, and less lifelike, but there is definitely a lot more fun to owning an army that was handcrafted and has a sort of wild look to it. I know this channel has been very GW focused, and I wouldn't say it's because I'm some sort of Games Workshop simp. I don't like many things about the company's corporate decisions or creative decisions in recent years. I really just like the old world setting and the nostalgia I get from the older minis, but recently I have been checking out a lot more independent artists and sculptors, and I think when I find something that inspires me like these MOONBLINS, I'll definitely throw up a video about them, because stuff like this can easily go unnoticed and I think it deserves to be seen. Miniatures like this are great if you want to spice up your chaos or goblin warband, or even want a unique sorcerer for your army. They'd also make for some pretty great special characters. Anyway, sorry for rambling. Let me know what you think. Do you feel the same way as me? Do you get excited when you see some new hand sculpted beauties? Let me know down in the comments below. Now there is a classic Tzeentch sorcerer mini which was made around 30 years ago that gives me the same sort of vibes as these guys, so I've decided to go with a super vibrant color scheme to make them pop and to try fit in with that old chaos Tzeentch look from the good old days. I want my MOONBLINS to be sort of drenched from top to bottom in rich yellows, blues and purples, and have the colors in the robes blend together, so we'll be attempting some glazing. As I said, the Old and Demon is on the horizon, and this year there is an open category for Oldhammer style minis that aren't officially GW sculpts, which is a pretty bloody good idea to me. Having a category like this will open the competition up to more creativity, and I think that can only be a good thing. When this was announced a little while ago, I was busy trying to track down a mini that would get me inspired, and I did have a short list going, but when these MOONBLINS pretty much came out of nowhere, it knocked my socks off, so I could not paint one up for Old and Demon. As I am painting 4 of these guys, my plan is to really take my time and put maximum effort in, and whatever one ends up the best out of the bunch, that will be my entry. I won't announce which one I'll be entering just yet. I'll wait closer to when the Old and Demon comp deadline closes to tell you which one I'll be going with, so check out my Instagram if you want to stay up to date with all that. We're about halfway through the video, so if you're enjoying it, make sure you slap that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date with all my latest videos. I'd really appreciate it. Anyway, let's get back into it.
Now, as you can see, I've attempted some glazing here, and I would recommend checking out Rogue Hobby's new glazing tutorial, as Louise pretty much explains it perfectly and way better than I can. One thing I will say though is that when I'm choosing my colors for when I'm glazing or having a color transition, I'm trying to choose colors that are roughly the same tone or brightness for my base coat. I found that Deep Blue by AK and Genestealer Purple match up fairly well, as they are vibrant enough and dark enough, and you can highlight up from these two evenly, if that makes sense. With my highlights, I'm being super careful just to hit the raised areas on the robes and leave the color transition to base coat untouched, so you can tell the color is morphing from blue to purple. As we're going to go as loud as possible with these minis, I decided to slap on one of my favorite colors, which is pink, to the cuffs and collars of these dudes. I feel like I don't get to paint pink enough, as not many armies have it in their color schemes, so I'll use any excuse to whip it out. To get the opportunity to paint more pink, I should probably commit to painting more Demons of Chaos or something like that, and that could be plenty of fun, so maybe I'll do that in an upcoming video. Now with my pink recipe, I've just mixed in some burnt red first, just to make it as rich as possible, and then I work through the pink horror and add in small amounts of white until the final layers are a nice bright salmon color. So the majority of the moonblins are now painted, but it's time to paint that big fish familiar, and I want to make sure this thing matches the moonblins' vibrant color scheme, so I'm going to use a base coat of Cyberite green, which does have a kick to it, on the top part of the fish, and then I'm going to wet blend it into some Krieg khaki on the belly side. I noticed that the fish has a lot of great surface area all over it, so I can add some details like some oily or shiny lines that go from the tail all the way around his eyes and down to his lips. One thing I really appreciate is when minis give you a nice canvas to work on. Sometimes I find it frustrating when miniatures have a bit too much going on and are overly textured. This is the perfect amount for me, a few little holes and some warts here and there just to break it up. I'm going to make the little warts a nice pink color so it ties in with the moonblins, and then I'm also going to give the fins and the googly eyes an orange color, and this is my way of paying tribute to the sculptor. If you check out Marcelo's aesthetic on his Instagram, he loves to use orange as a backdrop on his mini photography. If you want to see how I paint orange in more detail, go check out my Dwarf Slayer video after this one. We're getting super close to finishing now, and even though we have a colorful party going on with all these little creatures, I decided to ground them just a little bit with the leathers. I was thinking of going for a big yellow glove on that fish's tail, but we run the risk of it looking more like a dishwashing glove than an actual glove, so brown it's going to be. I start out with a good coat of Pro Acryl Dark Umber all over, then I go through Mournfang Brown all the way up to Pure Zemesi Desert, highlighting the top facing edges. I like to blend in between each layer just to keep the brown transitions very soft and subtle. From here I work through some of the red leather bits on the staff and the book, and then I went to town on his eyes and teeth, and then last up I moved on to the true metallics. I have to say, painting these guys was a lot of fun, and it was great to mix things up on the channel this week and paint an independent sculptor's minis. I would love for you guys to let me know if you'd like to see more of this on the channel. I do find it really fun discovering new minis with that old style.
And here they are, here are my moonblins. Thanks so much for sticking around to the end of the video, guys. I really appreciate it. And thanks to Marcelo for sending me these miniatures. If you want to get your hands on these, make sure you check out the link down in the bio. I have all the information down there. Also, I want to say a massive thank you to all of my Patreons for all the support. I really appreciate it, guys. And if you want to join the Anvil of Doom Patreon, the link is down in the bio. And I look forward to catching up with you in the Discord. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you all next time. Cheers.